Mike, there is a piece in the Wall Street Journal today. It's titled, "Does Warren Buffett know something that we don't?"
Undoubtedly, yes.
Is yes, because he's almost
nearly
100 years
100.
old, has made billions of dollars in his life, and drinks a ton of Diet Coke every day. So he certainly knows something that we don't. Probably a whole lot of something, quite honestly.
Yeah.
But what this piece is specifically asking is, hey, Berkshire Hathaway, and which is Warren Buffett's company, he says that he's kind of starting to not be as active, and he's got some lieutenants that are taking over a more active role, but still his company. Berkshire Hathaway is really growing its cash pile right now. It's got $325 billion sitting in cash and cash equivalents at the moment.
Been selling off some Apple stock, been selling off some, was it Bank of America that they had backed out of for a while now? Yeah. And here is the point that I will make. It is always impossible to tell whether this is because of some big overarching concern that Warren Buffett has about the state of the markets, if it is entirely based on something else. Let's talk about just Berkshire Hathaway for a moment here. They own and operate dozens, if not hundreds, of businesses across the country. And so they wholly own some of them, like Dairy Queen. I think, is Geico a wholly owned subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway as well?
Can we go through just the wide range of things
Please.
they own? So just on the insurance side, they've got Geico, General Reinsurance, National Indemnity Company, Netherlands Reinsurance Group. I translated that from the original Dutch. And Berkshire Hathaway Assurance. Then they've got a whole utilities group that owns 5 or 6 other companies. They own Forest River Incorporated, the world's largest seller of RVs. Again, these businesses are just all over the place. They own Fruit of the Loom, Garan, Russell Corporation. For building products, they own Acme Building Brands. I'm just going through some of these here. Let's see what else they have. They got Jordan's Furniture. If you live in New England and have ever bought anything at Jordan's, Berkshire Hathaway owns them. They also own Nebraska Furniture Mart, just because they got to geographically diversify, I guess. See's Candy, Dairy Queen, as you mentioned. They own a bunch of different car dealerships at this point. They have Berkshire Hathaway Realty that they own. I mean, They own all kinds of stuff in different industries.
I guess one point that I would have would be, I bet that somebody over at Berkshire Hathaway has a pretty good model for, hey, based on how these businesses are behaving and performing at any one point in time, we've got this read or that read on the state of the economy. But just because Warren Buffett is selling Apple stock and Bank of America stock does not in and of itself mean that he is concerned about a big sell-off, or that he is reading anything, or that Berkshire Hathaway is reading anything into this market long term.
Yeah, I think, look, here's the thing with Berkshire Hathaway. It's not worth trying to figure out why they're doing something. Because they have their own businesses they're running internally. It's not just about, hey, do we want to invest in this company or invest in that? They might need the capital for something else.
Yeah. Are you selling Apple because you're worried about their business model? Are you concerned about their valuations? Or are you just considering a big acquisition and need to free up some cash for it?
And beyond that, the other thing, you have no idea what their time horizon is.
You can almost guarantee it's longer than yours.
It's probably longer than yours.
Yeah.
I'm guessing their time horizon is somewhere in the vicinity of 50 to 100 years.
Yes.
And that works for them because they don't need the money. They've got plenty of it. And so if they were to go out and buy, I don't know, a company that makes I-beams, you'd be like, oh, does that mean they think that construction's going to pick up next year? When in reality, they might be like, no, we think that this is, hedging for, commercial space stations that are going to be built in the 2050s, and we want to, get in on the technology now because we're going to be launching I-beams into space.
Right.
I'm not. It could be anything. It's just you don't know why they're doing it. And the other thing, they're not going to tell you when they change their mind. All that'll happen each quarter, you'll read what they bought and sold, and you'll be like, "Oh, they sold that. Should I have done it?" I have no idea. It's a horrible way to try to go about it.
Right.
So we get these pieces that come out because look, it is interesting.
Sure, he's look, you cannot make a successful case for any investor having been better at it than Warren Buffett.
But this is equivalent to Tom Brady showing up to training camp and being like, oh, I did X, Y, and Z this offseason. And if you're, an aspiring quarterback, you're like, well, should I be doing? No, you're not Tom Brady.
You're Mike Armstrong.
Right.
You throw like a 7-year-old girl.
You got to stand.
Stop.
You got to stand on your tiptoes just to be able to see the butt of the offensive lineman, let alone over them.
Yeah.
So I just think, hey, it's interesting to see what investing greats or greats in any industry or any enterprise do. But that doesn't mean that you should be doing the same thing.
Important distinction.
And I think that that's important. So, think about it in terms of, you ever see what, some people wear for fashion? And you're like, hey, could I pull that off? No, you can't. Don't try to.
You're more likely to be able to pull off the fashion statement than Warren Buffett's investment style.
Correct.
Yeah.
But even there, it's questionable.
Proceed with caution.
Yeah, you can't wear the Lady Gaga meat dress. It's just not going to work for you.